Bet I could find you here. Why are you fishing? Our company's got to ship out 2 full color brochures and 20 color copies. You're killing me.
It's done. Designed, printed, packaged, and shipped.
How?
You just got to know the right people. Baker Printing, the printing people.
How come you get to fish in this private lake?
Like I said, you just got to know the right people. You can know the right people too.
Hi, business owners. Phase 3. Woohoo! But do your customers know you're back? Well, that's where the Clarence Bug Show and Pelican Broadcasting can help. Right now, we've got great rates on advertising packages to help you get the word out. Shoot me an email at bugsclarence@gmail.com. Or better yet, call me up. I'd love to talk with you. 225-485-6839. Let's get together and make Phase 3 the best it can possibly be.
You're invited to the Bridal Show of the Future, a new twist on the typical bridal expo. Come out to experience the food, dancing, meet and greet, wedding event professionals, and win fantastic prizes. Friday, August 6th from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. To purchase tickets, please visit thepostbridalshowgonzales.com or follow on Instagram. All proceeds benefiting the VFW Post 3693 of Gonzales. Support your local veterans.
Hi, I'm Hurricane Betsy Barnes.
And I'm Dr. Kay Siller with the Rocket Right Show.
We are two busy blondes on the go showing off life in Louisiana.
Watch us on Pelican Sports Network.
And Talk 107.3 FM. Check local listings for times.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Hello and welcome as we start another week of the Clarence Bug Show. Here's hoping that your weekend was an absolutely fabulous one. If not, well, as we say each and every Tuesday right about this time of the day, good Lord willing, if it wasn't a good one, you'll still be here when the next one comes our way, and you'll have the opportunity to try it all over again. We start today's show under the topic, Here We Go Again. Governor John Bel Edwards announcing a new mask mandate as the number of coronavirus cases rockets here in Louisiana. The governor saying that anyone over the age of 5 will be required to wear a mask when gathering with others inside until the month of September. The order is for everyone, regardless of your vaccination status, and is scheduled to kick in tomorrow. Anyone on a school campus, K through 12 or college, will be covered by the mask mandate. In watching the governor's press conference and listening to his comments, there was one thing that I found noticeably absent, and let me say for the record, I knew that this was going to be the case. I was hoping, against all rational thought, that it would be different, but sure enough, it wasn't. I was particularly concerned, as many other Louisianians and many others in this country for that matter, with the federal government letting hundreds of thousands of illegal immigrants walk into this country, house them, untested, unvaccinated, and then, without giving the heads up to mayors, governors, council persons, and others, not giving them the heads up that they were going to be dropping these folks off in cities all across the country. It is an embarrassment, and more so than anything, it is yet another instance where the federal government tells us one thing about COVID-19, and then they turn around and do the exact opposite. We are supposed to believe, and many people wonder how it is that so many people have so little trust in government these days. But on one hand, you're telling us how you are so concerned about the spread. You are using the spread of the Delta variant to chip away at more of our freedoms, our rights, and our liberties. And yet, while you're so concerned about the spread, you allow hundreds of thousands of people, untested, unvaccinated, cluster them all together, and then ship them out to various places across the country. Now, I'm not a betting man, and the federal government, knowing they're wrong in this instance, will not give us the information, but I'd be willing to bet you, if you could find out a list of the cities where all of these untested, unvaccinated folks that are here illegally, if you could find out where these people were shipped to, $10 to a donut. I didn't want to say donut, but it's a family show. $10 to a donut, canine excrement instead of donut. That's where the surges are occurring. I'm supposed to believe that you are so concerned about the spread of COVID-19, and yet you allow hundreds of thousands of people here illegally to cross our borders, don't test them, don't vaccinate them, and without telling any elected officials, you just drop them off in cities all across Louisiana, all across Florida, all across Texas, and then you try to scare the bejesus out of people about the spread. You know, there's an old saying that goes, and I'll paraphrase, I might have been born at night, but it wasn't last night. Meanwhile, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention tell us that, well, we can't make any kind of correlation, any kind of connection between illegal immigrants in this country and the surge of the Delta variant. Really? Can't or won't? Good one, Marty. You can't make any connection between hundreds of thousands of people. Here's an example. In Texas, at the detention centers, there are any number of centers that are designed to hold 200 to 300 people. How many people do they have crammed into there? 3,000 plus. 10 times the number of people that it's designed to hold. You got them all crammed together. Don't test them. Don't vaccinate them. But you turn them loose in the country. And in the meantime, the same crowd that will tell you at the drop of a hat when it comes to killing babies, my body, my choice. Remember that? Remember that justification for killing babies? Well, it's the woman's body, it's her choice. So now you're going to let hundreds of thousands of potentially infected people loose in the country, but you're going to tell me now that it's my body, but it's your choice. You and the horse you rode in here on, son. We're not buying it. We're not buying it. And more Americans, by the tens of thousands, are reaching that point. They are sick and tired of the hypocrisy, the doublespeak, and the flip-flops. We're tired of it. And at some point, y'all gonna have to answer to this. You know, it's one thing if your deeds match your words. But when you tell Americans one thing and you turn around and do something 180 degrees opposite, it becomes pretty clear, real quick, what you're all about. You know, if this were truly a pandemic, the first thing you would do is shut down the border. That's the first thing you would do. But instead, what do? We're letting folks in here, not only letting them in by the hundreds of thousands, we're not testing them, we're not vaccinating them, and then to add insult on top of injury, we're turning these folk loose in America. I would venture a guess that if you were to pick up the phone and call Governor John Bel Edwards or the Louisiana Department of Health and ask them, give me a count, exactly how many of these folks that are here illegally, that you didn't test and you didn't vaccinate, how many of them have been turned loose in Louisiana? They probably couldn't give you a number. Well, if they did, then they'd have to answer to, why in the hell did this happen? How did it happen? And what's being done to be sure that it doesn't happen again? Remember, I told you a long time ago, people can lie to you by omission and commission. They can tell you a lie straight to your face by giving you what it is. But they can also lie to you by not telling you certain things. Governor John Bel Edwards needs to take a stand. If you are going to impose restrictions on people that live here legally, then you need to demand that the federal government stop dropping these folks off in our cities and our towns without any heads up whatsoever. It's only right. And if you are so concerned about the spread, then conventional wisdom, not to mention, my bad, common sense, would say, you don't let these folks in here, and you sure as hell don't drop them off in cities, and don't tell the governor, don't tell the mayors, don't tell anybody. We just look up on the news one day, guess who's here? Where'd they come from? I don't know, someplace illegally. Where are they going to go? I don't know, that's up to them. Have they been tested? We don't have that information. Have they been vaccinated? No. Well, wait a minute. I thought you were so concerned about the spread. And then you have the unmitigated gall to wonder why it is we don't trust a damn thing you say. You have the nerve to wonder, why don't they believe in us anymore? Really? Really? First break of today's show. It's Tuesday, so you know what that means. When we come back, that's right, another edition of, wait for it, now that's just stupid. That's next as we continue the Clarence Bugg Show here and only here on the Pelican. Stay close.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda. every time.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
I'm self-employed and didn't report all my income. They claim I owe a lot more than I do.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
Tax Solutions Now saved my business.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 800-778-4345. 800-778-4345.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to greystonecountryclub.com.
Go where summer leads you in an award-winning Mazda CUV. Find yours during Mazda's season of discovery.
Call, click, or come by and discover your new Mazda today at Baton Rouge's Mazda dealer, Team Mazda on Airline.
Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing. You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day. Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
Welcome back to today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show. If you are new to the show, new to the station, new to the area, you may not be aware that in response to the ever expanding, increasing, outrageous examples of stupidity in this country and the planet, for that matter, we have instituted a new segment entitled, "Now That's Just Stupid." You'll notice it is not spelled the traditional way, S-T-U-P-I-D. That's just regular stupid. What we're talking about here is a whole level above S-T-U-P-I-D. Hence the spelling S-T-O-O-P-I-D. Stupid. We start in St. John the Baptist Parish. You know, traditionally, a person's wedding day is supposed to be, arguably, one of the greatest days, happiest days, monumental days in life. Many are of the opinion it is possibly only second to the birth of your first child. Well, recently, 30-year-old Devin Jones engaged in, I guess we can't call it blissful matrimony. He decides to get married. They go through the ceremony, and after all of the festivities have concluded and the like, Devin, along with his wife and another friend, are in the car going home or to drop the friend off and then go to the honeymoon, etc., etc. They're on I-10 on the Bonnie Carey Spillway, and there's an accident there. And as is so many times the case, traffic just stops. So these three members of the wedding party are sitting there in the car, and this is mere hours after the ceremony. As a matter of fact, old Devin still got his tuxedo on. So they're stuck in traffic on the Bonnie Carey Spillway, and they're sitting there talking about things, and one thing leads to another, and Devin then comes to the conclusion that his friend in the back seat and his newly betrothed are having an affair. So Devin then proceeds to pull out his gun, shoot the gentleman in the back seat, and attempt to shoot his new wife. She exits the vehicle, takes off running. Just so happens that there is an ambulance there that has responded to the accident to render aid. She starts banging on the door, tells them what's going on. They let her in to provide her shelter. In the meantime, Devin accidentally shoots another motorist in the hand. And I found out from my dear friend Jonathan, welcome back, brother, good to have you back, that the traffic ended up being delayed for hours more, as law enforcement then had to go about the duty of searching every freaking vehicle there to find Devin. Ironically, according to the law enforcement agency responding, St. John Parish Sheriff's Office, quote, alcohol may have been a factor in the incident. You think? Now, far be it from me. God knows I am the last person on the planet to tell anybody who they should or should not marry. That ain't my job. English teachers, forgive me, I didn't give you all the heads up. That is not my job. To tell anybody, bruh, you sure you want to do this? Dude, are you sure that's who you want to marry? That's not my job. If it were, then obviously I failed miserably in old Devin's case. But if there's any lesson for Devin to learn here out of all of this, bruh, choose a little more wisely if and when there's a next time. I mean, for God's sake, dude, you still had the tuxedo on. We're talking mere hours after the wedding, and you're ready to shoot her and another member of the wedding party? When the pronouncements at the end of the ceremony came for Devin, and he said, I do. Now that is just stupid. Moving on. I mentioned that this segment is not only for my fellow Americans, or in Devin's case, my fellow Louisianians, but it is also for the entire planet. It is amazing to me how we as a species have arrived at a point in history where we have more knowledge, access to more knowledge than any other group of humans in the history of this planet. And yet, we continue to do more and more and more stupid stuff. Have any of you watched the Olympics? Yeah, I know, I'm right along with you. Nope. The woke Olympics, don't care. And here's another reason why. Now, NBC and other people will tell you that, well, you know, the reason so many people aren't watching is because, you know, the time differential, there's Also, you can find out now, Clarence, you just said we got access to info. You know the results before you get to actually watch it. And on top of all that, there's COVID-19. There's no fans in the stands. No, Hoss. It's due in large part to how woke you idiots have gone. The medical director, I think his official title is Director of Medicine and Science for the International Olympics, Richard Budgett, announcing recently that, quote, trans women are women. Going on to say that, quote, everybody agrees trans women are women. End of quote. No, Hoss. Everybody does not agree. But you see, like the swamp in Washington, D.C., that's what happens when you live your life in that little bitty bubble where you only surround yourself with the rest of the woke folk like yourself. Everybody, according to the International Olympic Committee's medical and science director, everybody agrees. Trans women are women. You know, a thinking person would ask themselves, let's see, how many thousands of years have humans inhabited the planet? And over all this time, we all knew, you know, chromosomes, genitalia, reproduction, the whole nine. We all knew male, female. Do you ever wonder how it is, and maybe Marty could answer this, how is it that in a year and a half, we've now decided, you know what? Every single person on the planet for thousands of years had it completely wrong, but we know better. So wait a minute. You mean to tell me after thousands of years, you have male chromosomes, you have male genitalia, you are incapable of becoming pregnant because you don't have eggs, you don't have a uterus. But now, all of a sudden, everybody else got it wrong and you got it right. Hoss, you ain't got it right. You stupid. Yet another to add to the very long list of stupidity in this country and around the world. And by the way, IOC Director of Medicine and Science, just because you think we're stupid doesn't mean it's true. Matter of fact, on this particular issue, we already know who's stupid. And it's not the rest of us. Just saying. Bottom of the hour break. We'll get her done, come back to this country and talk more as we continue today's edition of the Clarence Bugg Show, here and only here on the Pelican. Stay close.
Got termites? Get Premier Pest. PremierPestServices.com.
You're invited to the Bridal Show of the Future, a new twist on the typical bridal expo. Come out to experience the food, dancing, meet and greet, wedding event professionals, and win fantastic prizes. Friday, August 6th from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. To purchase tickets, please visit thepostbridalshowgonzales.com or follow on Instagram. All proceeds benefiting the VFW Post 3693 of Gonzales. Support your local veterans.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Caught spiders?
Premier Pest Services.
Welcome back to today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show. That little bitty piece of a head that you saw just kind of saunter into the shot just now, that's Bill Profita. The Exiles will replace yours truly at the end of the hour, and they would love it. I would consider it a personal favor. Yeah, see his hand going up right there? Wave to the people, Bill. Wave to the people, Bill. They see your hand sticking up in the shot there. There he is. There he is. Bill Profita and Kevin Gallagher coming up following yours truly. Yeah, you can't see the head, but you can see the hand sticking all the way up. There you go. There you go. You know, say what you will about polls and how you can phrase a question to any number of people to get the desired result. We've had this conversation, this debate, over the course of years and years and years. And many are of the opinion, well, it's all in how you phrase the question. Well, when it comes to the highest legislative body in this country, the United States Congress, it is an embarrassment to the American people. Now listen, y'all, I get it. I understand. We have become so partisan in this country that typically conventional wisdom says if you ask individuals, how good of a job do you think Congress is doing? Whoever's in power at the time, you'll get sky-high ratings. The party that's not in power, you'll get real low ratings. Typically, many people will say, that's how it goes. But in recent memory, the approval rating for the highest legislative body in this country should give all of us reason to pause. Now, there is a phenomenon of sorts that takes place. And maybe I've come to the unscientific conclusion over the years that many of us feel this way because we want to feel good about ourselves. Meaning, ask most Americans, what do you think about the job Congress is doing? Oh, dude, they suck. They're horrible, blah, blah, blah. Well, what about your representative in Congress? Oh, well, they do a good job. I think that is typically because we want to feel good about ourselves and the choices we make. But last week, Rasmussen Polling released results of their most recent survey asking Americans, quote, how do you rate the way Congress is doing its job? Pretty straightforward question. How do you rate the job that Congress is doing? Only 17% of voters said good or excellent. 54% of Americans polled said Congress is doing a poor job. Now, I'll be the first to admit, I think that 17% is way too high. Just saying. I think that is way, way too high. The number of folks in this country, and you do realize this is a reflection of ourselves, y'all. When only 17% of Americans feel the people that we have elected to represent us are doing a good job or an excellent job, and you got to split that up because the 17% includes good and excellent. So you're probably talking, I don't know, 10% say excellent, 7% say good. This is a direct reflection of the people that we elect to represent us. It is as sad a commentary as you will ever find in life. Now, for the record, I understand. With the two-party system, you're going to have Republicans doing what Republicans do. You'll have Democrats doing what Democrats do. And typically, the other side doesn't particularly care for what the other side is doing. That's the way things work. But at the end of the day, it's the American people that end up getting stuck with the crap that's coming out of Washington, D.C. It is regular folks like you and I who go about our business every single day trying to take care of our own, trying to do what we can to make this a better country in which to live. We are the ones that get stuck with these yahoos up in D.C. And then they have the nerve to wonder, well, why do people look at us the way they do? Well, I'm glad you posed that question. Finally, after all of the negotiating, all the consternation, et cetera, we finally got a glimpse after it was leaked and they were forced to let it out. We finally got a glimpse of the 2,700-page infrastructure bill. By the way, with the votes that are scheduled on this, it is humanly, physically impossible for these individuals to read all 2,700 pages before they're scheduled to start voting and take care of the other business of the people of this country. Some folks have started digesting this 2,700-page monstrosity, and that's just for the $1+ trillion bill. Can you imagine what's going to be in the next $3+ trillion bill? But uncovered in this 2,700-page monstrosity is funding to improve the, wait for it, welcome centers for people entering this country illegally. Now, you will never, ever hear me lay claim to being the brightest bulb in the chandelier. I ain't no Einstein. Sorry, English teachers, I didn't give y'all the heads up on that coming out before it did. But with this crisis at the border, with this crisis, their words, with the Delta variant, wouldn't it make more sense to spend that money on treating these folks and stemming the flow of people flooding across the border? I know, me and that darn common sense of mine. Of course, now, it is government, and how many times have we talked about there is no entity on earth that can waste more money, no entity on planet Earth that can squander great opportunities than the federal government. We are going to spend even more money in the midst of an immigration crisis for welcome centers for people coming here illegally. Now you know why, and I wish I knew who coined the phrase, but now you know why so many people understand wholeheartedly the phrase. I'm from the government, and I'm here to help. Yeah, help like let hundreds of thousands of people come across the border, potentially infected with the Delta variant. Don't test them, don't vaccinate them. And then we wake up one morning and poof, like magic, they're getting off buses, they're getting off planes, all across the country. There's also another adage that says, we get the government we voted for. Now, I know, I can hear you screaming through the television. Clarence, that ain't who we voted for. As a matter of fact, if we ever get to find out the truth about the 2020 election, that'll be a whole different show for a different day. Well, I would be the last one to debate the authenticity of that statement. I will tell you, however, it's the government we have. I'll tell you that, and that is beyond reproach. It is the government we have. At some point, y'all, we as Americans are going to have to let these yahoos know, y'all work for us. You have no money other than what you take from us. You are completely, totally out of touch with ordinary, average, everyday Americans. And we're plumb sick and tired of being sick and tired. End of discussion. Unless and until that happens, well, buckle up, buttercup, because it's going to get a whole lot worse before it gets any better. Just saying. When you have a border czar who finally, only because Donald Trump was scheduled to go, finally rushes down to the border 800 miles away from the epicenter of the crisis, and then releases a 17-page statement on the root causes of the crisis, and you think it's going to get better? Good luck with that, Hulse. Good luck with that. Final break of today's show. Louisiana, when we come back, has joined an ever-growing list of people, or states actually, that have done something that you probably never thought you'd see in Louisiana. We'll talk about that when we come back for the final segment of today's edition of the Clarence Bugg Show, here and only here on the Pelican. Stay close.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to greystonecountryclub.com.
The all-new 22 Civic, now on sale at Team Honda on Segan Lane.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With Private Healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private Healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready, and health insurance is your financial safety net. Health insurance has never been so easy and affordable. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, call the number on the screen now and speak with a live healthcare consultant. Don't wait. Get the coverage you need now.
Welcome back for the final segment of today's edition of the Clarence Bugg Show. By the way, immediately following yours truly, very same station, very same set, if you will, the Exiles. Bill Profita and Kevin Gallagher will entertain you and yours and inform you and yours for the next hour. They would be immensely grateful if you gave them the next hour of your time. I, of course, would be as well, and would consider it a personal favor if you would stick around for the Exiles coming up immediately after the conclusion of the Clarence Bugg Show. Yesterday was a historic day in the state of Louisiana. Our state joined the ever-expanding list of states in this country that have reformed their marijuana laws. Act 247 that came about from House Bill 652 officially went into effect. As of Sunday, the possession of 14 grams or less of marijuana will be punishable by a fine of up to $100 or a court summons without the possibility for jail or prison time, no matter how many times someone is arrested for possessing that amount. Now, keep in mind that that is the 14 grams or less threshold. You can't get arrested 5 times for 14 grams or less get the up to $100 fine, no jail time, no prison time, and then get caught with 40 pounds and think you're going to get the same treatment. That's a different show for a different day. It is a list of states now approaching 20, if you round the numbers off, approaching half of the states in this country have decriminalized possession to some extent. 20 states actually have legalized marijuana. Another 12, including the state of Louisiana, have decriminalized possession to some extent. After Sunday, now that this has officially become law, there will be a number of groups around the country that will be launching awareness campaigns, which will include social media, informational materials, outreach to law enforcement agents, local elected officials, and others to inform people of their rights as it pertains to this. It is in this age of resources being scarce, meaning so many people now, one of two things, either deciding they don't want to spend any more of their tax dollars on facilities to incarcerate people, or number two, coming to the realization that jail and prison should be for people that we're afraid of and not people that we're mad at. I will be the first to admit I didn't think this bill had a chance of passing. And I guess it's like anything else. You chip away, chip away, chip away, chip away. And at some point, you start to see results. For a number of years now, we've seen legislators introduce bills to try and either legalize or at the very least decriminalize marijuana usage in our state. And we've watched it go down in flames every single time. And understanding our history in this state and understanding how in many instances we in Louisiana are a whole lot less willing to embrace certain things that other states embrace in the country, I didn't think it would happen this soon. It is a trend all across the country, and it is one of those instances where we can say Louisiana was not the very last to do it. Now listen, we've all heard the debate, we've all heard the argument, whether or not it is a gateway drug to harder illegal substances, whether or not it is addictive or not. I will leave to you to be the ultimate determiner of fact versus fiction in that regard. But at the end of the day, it will still be good to see that thousands, eventually, obviously, tens of thousands of our fellow Louisianians will not have their lives ruined over something that we're simply mad about. If we're talking murder, well, that's something else. If we're talking armed robbery, that's something else. If we're talking rape, sexual assault, that's something else. But because an individual decides after a long day of work or no work at all, if they just decide that they want to indulge in that, well, they're grown. As long as they're not robbing anybody to achieve that, then so be it. When all is said and done, we've got to decide what sort of resources we are willing to allocate to incarceration. How safe do we want to be as a people. And once we make that determination, then all of us together can chip in to make Louisiana the best Louisiana that it can be. 10655 Coursey Boulevard, Bayou Smokehouse, the home of old school barbecue, is where we tape the show live Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. You talk about good food, good people, good atmosphere. If you are one of those that, understands, you view life like the game of baseball, saying, well, if the food's good, I don't care about the service. I'm still batting 500. That's Hall of Fame action there. If you're one of those that says, well, atmosphere sucks, but the food's pretty good. If you're one of those, I ain't mad at you. But if you're a true Louisianian like yours truly, you're of the opinion you deserve all of the above. You deserve, when you choose to spend your hard-earned money with someone, you deserve to walk through the door greeted by people that are actually happy you chose to spend your time and money with them. And they go out of their way to make sure when they come by the table and ask, is everything okay? You're so busy chewing, all you can do is mumble, 10655 Coursey Boulevard. Bayou Smokehouse truly is the home of old school barbecue. Again, coming up next, it's the Exiles, Bill Profita. Kevin Gallagher now has graced us in the house with his presence. They're coming up next. But time's up, y'all, and I gotta go. And this day, maybe more so than any other day, I give it to you. America, you're right. We're not perfect. But for this old boy's money, it's the best there is. And God knows there's no place else on his green earth that I'd rather be. Speaking of the good Lord, you realize he loves you, and I hope you know that I do too. Then again, there ain't a doggone thing you can do about either one. We'll see you tomorrow. God bless.